Hi, my name is Alexa Schaffner and I'm a senior exercise science major, and I will be presenting the research that I conducted with Brianna Hutton. Our research study, the purpose of it was to see if a tennis player had greater speed and accuracy with a one or a two-handed backhand. While there have been studies examining the biomechanics and technique of these two different backhands, there have not been any studies looking at specifically speed and accuracy. In our study, we tested 14 participants, 7 of which were male and 7 were female. The mean age of these participants were 20.21 years with a standard deviation of 1.85. Inclusion criteria for our participants required them to have been a past or present men's or women's Franklin College tennis player between the ages of 18 and 25. Participants were ineligible to be in the study if they had had any arm, wrist, or ankle injuries within the past 6 months or a concussion within the last year. In our study, we scheduled each participant for one 15-minute testing session where they stood at the center of the baseline on the tennis court and received balls from an experienced tennis coach. Each participant received 60 balls, 30 of which were hit using a one-handed backhand, and the other 30 were hit using a two-handed backhand. Of the 30 balls that they hit with each type of backhand, 15 were used for warm-up purposes, and the other 15 were measured and used for testing. The participants were told to aim for a 4x4 foot taped box that was placed on the opposite side of the court directly in the middle. We counted how many balls they hit within this box to measure their accuracy. We recorded each session using one GoPro video camera, and we uploaded the video footage onto the MaxTrack motion analysis software to calculate their speed. We used the SPSS 24 statistical software, and we found that these tennis players had both greater speed and accuracy using a two-handed backhand. Some limitations of our study: one includes that the GoPro video camera did not have as high as a frame rate as what was needed. Another limitation is that some of the feeds from our experienced tennis coach, not all of them were consistent in their placement of when they hit the tennis court. One delimitation that we knew going into the study was that the participants were all more familiar using a two-handed backhand, and this could have led to some of the results. What we found in our study can be used by both tennis players and tennis coaches in improving their ground strokes, and also in choosing whether they want to use their one or two-handed backhands. Any questions?
Why did you choose those specific tennis backhands?
So we choose the specific one-handed and two-handed backhand because these are the most commonly used types of backhand that are used in tennis.
Why does the type of swing matter to tennis players?
This type of swing is very important to tennis players because ground strokes are the most commonly used type of stroke within the game of tennis, and the backhand stroke is one of the two types of ground hand strokes.
If you didn't guide the subjects to hit as hard as they can you expect your results to be reliable and valid?
So if we did not guide the participants to hit as hard as they can, then the results could have been skewed and not valid to where they would have had a greater accuracy and a lower speed. However, if we would have told them to hit as hard as they could, then they could have had a greater speed and a lower accuracy. We tried to get the best results by having our participants hitting what is normal for them and what they would have hit in a normal tennis game.
If you did this study again, what would you change and why?
If we did this study again, we would have used a ball feeding machine instead of an experienced tennis coach. We originally chose an experienced tennis coach because other research studies did this and they did not report any problems. However, because of the inconsistency in feeds with using the experienced tennis coach, if we had to do it again, we would have used a ball feeding machine.